Today is July 26, 2013, 9 a.m., and we're sitting with Mr. Jim Meineke.
Yeah, so if you don't mind starting off with where you were born, we can start.
I was born 2 miles south of the current Hayden Airport, 2.5 miles exactly. November the 10th, 1932. That's a good day because that's the U.S. Marine Corps' birthday.
Okay. Now, were your parents living in Hayden, or was that...
My father and mother were farmers out south of Hayden.
Okay.
Okay.
Farmers south of Hayden. And how long did you live out there?
I think, from what I've been told, a year.
A year, oh, okay.
A year.
Okay.
And then Father bought property in the Steamboat Springs area. And we lived there till 1937.
Okay.
And moved back to Craig, Colorado.
Until 1937, and then back to Craig.
Right.
What brought your family back to Craig?
He bought some property right north of town here, a couple miles north of town, and he kept that. And for 2 years.
Okay.
And sold it again.
Okay. And then did you stay in Craig?
No, sir. We moved to a small town in Northern California. My father started dairies in a town called Orland, O-R-L-A-N-D, California, in Glenn County.
Okay.
And we stayed there till 1946. The day the war ended, my father put the ranch up for sale, the dairy, and we sold it in 46 and moved back to Craig. Purchased 2 places here.
Okay. And by that time you were in school?
Yes.
Right.
You were at 14 when you came back?
About that, 13 or 14, yeah.
And what was Craig like when you came back?
I can still remember the oil refinery being torn down. There was where you guys are sitting right here, right now, was the Armory, National Guard Armory. This was kind of a community center at that time. There was dances and community. We had our school events here. Where I took wrestling and boxing in this building, in fact.
Oh.
There was a swimming pool in the basement of this building. It was boarded up at that time. I don't think it was active at that time.
Okay.
So, we stayed here and ranched and farmed in this area till I decided I'm going to go to the city. So another friend and I left and joined the U.S. Marine Corps in 1951.
Okay.
I swore that I would never return to this city. After I was discharged from the Marine Corps in 1955, 1955, I moved to a small community in Southern California.
Okay.
And went to school and worked for Northrop Aircraft. Went to El Camino Junior College for a little over a year. And I decided I couldn't wait to get back to Craig, Colorado. I've had enough of people.
The people changed your mind?
People changed my mind. I think in Northrop there was probably 7,000 or 8,000 people on my ship.
Wow.
It was 4 larger than Craig, Colorado. A child growing up in this Craig, I remember the clothing stores up and down the main street here. There was at least 4 or 5. Many business, most of the economy with little oil field. Most of it was farming and ranching and a lot of livestock. And when I come back, it was basically still the same way. There was quite a bit more oil activity when I come back. First thing I did was went to work in the oil field when I came back.
What year did you come back here?
1956. I met this little Spanish girl that's so beautiful I couldn't leave her. And I've been married to her ever since.
Okay. And at that time, Craig was still fairly small.
We were 40, when we got married, I think our population was 4,500.
4,500?
43
okay.
or 4,500.
Okay. Wow. And you worked at the oil refinery, you said?
No, I worked in the oil fields.
In the oil fields?
Yeah.
Okay, you worked in the oil
Roughneck
fields.
in the oil field.
Okay.
In 1957, I talked this girl into marry me.
Uh-huh.
I took a job in the service station, and I learned the operation of the service station.
Okay.
We were married in the spring of 1958. I worked for this gentleman for 7 years in the service station, learned the business. In 1964, I purchased my own service station.
Okay.
With a partner, with an uncle. I run it till 1996, when I retired.
Wow. And which place was this?
It was called Amoco. It was a Standard Oil of Indiana, which is not the standard you guys are familiar with.
Okay.
Different standard.
Okay.
It was Amoco. There was a few of them in Southern California.
Okay.
Okay. In 1958
Uh-huh.
and 57, I got involved with the JCs,
Okay.
the Moffat County Sheriff's Posse, which is search and rescue now,
Uh-huh.
a very active organization. I started attending public meetings, getting involved in city council meetings, county commissioner meetings. In 1968, I ran for city council and was elected for city council for 4 years.
Okay. What was that like?
That was great learning experience.
Okay.
Totally different than a lot of people on the street think.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of background behind what goes on.
Okay.
It's not just a yes and no thing. It's
Right.
There's a lot of research goes on.
And what was your position in the city council?
I was just a city councilman. I was in charge of the Parks and Recreation at that time for a while, and then I was in charge of the Water and Sewer Department for a while.
Okay.
We had different jobs.
And what type of community legislation was going on at that time?
Oh, we were doing a lot of expansion on account of the power plants that were being built.
Mm-hmm.
A tremendous amount of zoning and planning was going on at that time. Tremendous amount. Annexations, projects.
And was most of it making room to accommodate the power plant?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Power plant and its workers, and it was just busy.
Right. And
Since that time, I have served on the planning and zoning. So yeah.
planning and zoning. Wow. So what did planning and zoning look like to accommodate all the people, the large influx of people?
We had to meet with the corporations, the companies that were doing coming in to build. We had to do a lot of schooling, we brought in a lot of outside engineers. In fact, we brought in the Corps of Engineers out of Sacramento to work with us, to help us on flood control and things like that.
Okay.
And we did not have one-way streets.
Yeah. It was all two-way?
It was all two-way streets.
And how did you see the city of Craig influenced by this large influx of people, aside from the power plant being built?
They handled it very well, truthfully. They handled it very, very well. The city government, most people were very receptive to the growth.
Okay.
Everybody was worried about small businesses being forced out. That really did not happen. Small businesses existed fairly well if they wanted to work at their projects.
Okay.
the energy companies were very, very cooperative with the small businesses. They helped us. They trained us. They gave us a lot of assistance.
Okay. So what you're saying is small business was affected in a positive way then?
It really was. If you worked with it, if you worked with the companies and with the people, it was a positive.
Okay.
Yeah, sure was.
We've heard quite a few stories about the town kind of becoming a rough place during that time, rough crowds, if you will.
I'm an ex-Marine, but it was not a rough crowd.
It was not a rough crowd. Okay.
We had some bars, we had some fights. We used to have that when the sheep shearers would come to town, when the roughnecks would come to town. I don't think it increased the workload of the police department, probably maybe 10%, 12%. Not as bad as people thought it did.
Okay.
Really.
Okay. Not as much trouble as, okay.
No. They don't know what trouble is.
Okay. And how long did this boom in production and people coming in last?
Probably for about 8 years, really. It was really going pretty strong and wild. About 8 years, and then it started leveling off.
Okay.
We lost a lot of downtown, businesses closed out when the workers left because it made quite an impact on the community when we lost all the payroll of the workers, because they were top payroll people.
Right.
And they spent a good share of their money in Craig, Colorado.
Right. How many people? Sorry. How many people do you think left?
How many what?
How many people do you think left then in that
Oh my
time?
God. I imagine we probably lost 2,000 workers.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes. When the power plant was done and the other accessory workers that supplied and everything, we probably lost close to 2,000 workers.
And their families along with it.
Yes, and their families.
Okay.
A lot of the workers though were man camp workers. They stayed in camps and they rented apartments. They rented rooms. They had their families did not come.
Okay. Okay. And what happened in areas like Shadow Mountain, where
Shadow Mountain was a temporary housing unit for 2.5 years. We brought in the Corps of Army Engineers to help us on flood control. I sit in on all that with the county planning.
Right.
And it went pretty good. We had no imagination. It'd be a lifetime experience.
Right.
When Colorado Ute opted out and the county took it over, we knew that a lot of the building things, the infrastructure was substandard. And it's just a thing that's got to be taken care of in the long run.
Okay. So how has it affected zoning and...
Not really anything, because it's in the county, it's not in the city.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's...
Okay.
That's one of the things that's annexed after the fact. Sometimes it's not built to city standards, and
okay.
the property owners have to bear the cost of upgrading to city standards. And that's usually done through improvement districts and long time payout for the property owners.
Okay. All right. And did you maintain your involvement with city council?
Oh yeah.
For years? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And what types of changes did you see happen after the boom?
After the boom, we slowed down to a steady, slow growth, but very, very well controlled growth. We improved our landscaping regulations and our overall appearance. That's one thing we really, the downtown appearance and stuff, and as you guys know, what Parks and Rec does here for the flowers and everything, it's really, really nice.
Okay.
For a city that's had no rain in 6 months.
Yeah.
Seems like we look really nice downtown.
Okay. How did the one-way street affect things?
One-way street originally affected businesses very strongly. It was hard on the businesses because, and I must insert this into the interview, Craig, Colorado was a very, very busy tourist town before the interstate era.
Right.
It was one of the main highways. It was the main highway through America, U.S. Highway 40, from San Francisco to New York City. And the interstate concept totally changed that and drew a lot of traffic off. I myself used to work 8 to 10, 12, sometime high school kids on my service station. Everything was full serve. It was a very, very busy summer era, winter era too, but summer was really busy. And so when the one-way streets went in and diverted the traffic off of the main street, that hurt the Victory Way businesses. That really hurt them. For probably 4 to 5 years, they suffered extremely.
Okay. So the interstate initially hurt business.
Yes, the interstate pulled the tourists away from U.S. Highway 40.
And then the one-way street affected it even more.
Because it took the eastbound traffic away from our business district.
Right.
Why was the one-way initially put in?
Because we were so busy at that time with the boom coming in, we were having a big fight about parking on the street. Because the city of Craig does not own either one of these streets. U.S. Highway 40, U.S. Highway 13, 7, 8, and 9 belong to the state of Colorado. So we trying to get the most we could out of it. And one-way streets was the concept we thought we needed to do to help improve the traffic flow, truthfully, with the impact of industry coming in.
Wow. Okay. So it all had to do with traffic in the boom.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. How receptive was the community to that change?
The community was not really receptive to the advances of one-way street.
Okay.
There is still some resentment, but I personally don't think we could ever go back to two-way. I've thought of that concept for many, many times, and I think that the business has now adopted 4th Street as a main way. I think it would hurt them enormously.
Okay. And 4th Street's the one that wraps around?
Yeah, it's the one that goes.
Okay. All right. What have you done over the years for recreation and just kind of?
We are kind of a recreation paradise.
Okay.
I ski.
Okay.
Still love to ski. I'm 81 years old almost. Scuba diver. I did that in the service.
Wow.
There is lakes here I've scuba dived in. I did that through Moffat County Sheriff's Posse. I'm a river runner, a river rat. I run the wild rivers down in the canyonlands. You guys would love it. You would go banana over shooting the rapids.
That sounds fun.
The mountains, I'm an avid climber, and I love to go in the mountains and hang around. I hunt, fish.
Lots of activities.
I do everything but ride a motorcycle. Never been on one in my life, and I love them.
Motorcycle?
Never been on one in my whole life, and I love it. I love to look at bikes. Isn't that crazy?
That's interesting.
Well, he loves baseball, and he's never.
I never played, so. Same thing.
I went to one game in San Francisco, but I don't remember who was playing because they give guys and servicemen free drinks. Your uniform. I don't know who was playing or what happened. You do love baseball, man.
What kind of bikes do you like?
Motorcycles?
Yeah.
I love them all. I really do. The three-wheelers now are really caught my eye.
Yeah, those are neat.
I've seen some, because the wife and I travel quite a bit now.
Uh-huh.
And so I see a lot of bikes on the road. And these three-wheelers are just beautiful. The
Yeah.
paint jobs and stuff are just totally amazing.
Yeah, they're very interesting. I wonder how safe they are.
Very safe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had a guy stop. I stopped and talked to him all the time.
Uh-huh.
And he has a problem with the balance, equilibrium.
Mm-hmm.
And he says when he gets on his bike, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah. Because the two wheels in the front.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is it
Oh,
Is it okay if we rewind a little bit and go to, so you went to high school here, is that correct?
I went to high school
Uh-huh.
until I decided I want to join the Marine Corps.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So that short time period, what did you do for recreation when you were younger, and how was school for you during that time?
Schools were very good. First, I went to a small country school south of here, Hamilton, Colorado.
Oh,
Okay.
It's 15 miles south of town here, country school. And that's a very interesting part of my life, coming from California.
Right.
To that. But and then I attended school here in Craig, and I think the school systems are very, very adequate. I really do. I was just too hot-headed to sit around and finish.
Okay.
I later got my diploma, GED in the Marine Corps, and then later on I got my diploma up here at the high school. In fact, all of us veterans that left to go to the war got our diplomas at the high school.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you do for fun with your buddies in high school, or
What?
what would you do for fun with your friends in high school?
Basically, being a farm kid, we didn't have I wrestled and I boxed.
Right.
Oh, right.
And some kid beat me up bad.
Oh.
No, we couldn't stay. We were farmers, so we couldn't stay in for the late sports back in those days.
Right.
But no, I wrestled on the wrestling team and the boxing team right here in this building.
Oh, okay. What kind of events aside from that did you come to in this building? Did you come to any of the dances, or?
Oh yeah, I used to come to all the dances.
Okay.
Saturday night in a rural area like this, almost every country school had a dance, and they would trade off every other Saturday night at a different country school.
Okay.
And local musicians would play, the hooky music, and it was fun, but we did that. We went to dances. They had the pie social, and young girls would sell their pies for an outrageous amount, $quarter, I think. No, and things like that. And we hunted and fished, We were born and raised with rifles in our saddles and stuff like that. We always had weapons. It's part of the life. Recreation, in the winter we ice skated. We swept off the river and ice skated. And I don't think we ever had a problem with recreation back then. We made our own.
Yeah. Yeah. Just kind of did. Do you have any memories of flooding maybe the parking lot behind this building and building an ice rink?
I sure do.
Okay.
I remember the ice rink there, and went over in the city park.
So they build them anywhere?
Yeah. And then later on they had this building was a roller skating rink after they built the building.
Okay.
They had roller skating in it.
Oh, okay. That's what that was at first.
Schools actually provided a lot of entertainment if you were energy enough to go do it. There was always something to do.
Okay. Oh.
I don't have much use for people to tell me they have nothing to do.
Yeah. How have you seen things like hunting and fishing and hiking change over the years?
It's been on a very, very positive side. The Game and Fish, Colorado State Game and Fish Department, and the openness of the force and stuff like that. People talk about closures and stuff, but it's all been for the better. I don't like to go out and kill now. I like to go out to be with the guys, to see the country and stuff like that. I don't want to. After you pull the trigger, it's all work. You got to dress out the meat and all that stuff. No, I like to go out. I still go out every year. Go up in the high country and hunt elk and deer and drive around and look.
Right. Okay. So maybe not that much change then for you.
No, not really.
Just what you were doing is different. Okay.
I think it's has a great aspect. A great progressive action if you want to go out and do it and partake in it and be part of it. But you don't really have to be a hunter to enjoy the outdoors. The outdoors are so great.
Right.
And I love the beach.
We do too.
I do. I love the salt.
Yeah, it's really good. How have you've been involved with a lot of things. How have you seen the political atmosphere in Craig develop since you've become involved with politics and the country?
When I was a small kid, our community was basically Democrat controlled.
Oh.
Sure was.
Okay.
Democrats basically controlled the events. And that has did a 180. In the last 20 years, it's turned basically Republican.
Wow.
Republican control. And I was chairman of the Democrat Party here for a few years. And one of my friends that I buried him Saturday over here across the street from you guys had a military funeral.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He was chairman of the Republican Party and kind of worked me up. But the political process here is still basically strong, and I think because we know everybody knows everybody, that we can go talk to our representatives and our commissioners and city councilmen and everything. I think it's very open.
Okay.
So you've seen that as a positive thing that...
I do. I really do. I think it's a very positive thing. If people will write it in, get off their butts and go to the meetings.
Right. Is there a strong community involvement in these votes? No?
No. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think it's near as strong as it should be.
Okay. Do you recall the reception of Mitt Romney last year when he came to the town? What was that like?
I don't know. I was in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Going on the river, fighting the Alamo. I was so disappointed.
Oh, okay. So you weren't here for that?
No, I was not. I wished I had been. I actually seen it on TV. My daughter screamed at me. Craig's on the map. On national TV.
So you saw it on TV. Did you see the size of the crowd?
Yes.
We've heard it was pretty substantial.
It was. It was very, very impressive.
Okay.
The news media coverage was very, very good, I thought, positive for our city. I was quite thrilled, and I was 1,100 miles away.
Yeah. But it's neat that you saw it on TV, though. You were at least able to capture it. Yeah. Okay. How do you feel about Craig currently, just its current state with...
I feel very positive.
Okay.
You know, I've been around in the Craig politics and stuff like that. I think it's very, very positive that people want to get involved. I think the council and the commissioners are very positive thinking.
Okay.
I think we've got nothing but good things ahead if things work out.
Okay.
I would not live anywhere else. I like to go visit, but I don't want to leave.
Right.
Why is that? What pulls you back to Craig?
You know what? And I'll tell you the truth. I have so many friends that have left here and they return. It's like a magnet. It's. I think it's the involvement I've had with the community, with the people I know, with the activities I get involved in, with the outdoor adventures. I think it's just just the love of the land. I really believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And I do. I love to go to Hawaii. I love to go to San Diego. San Diego, I love. I really, but it costs too much to live there.
Yeah.
Did you have children? Did you
I
raise-
have I got the two of the most beautiful, spoiled daughters you've ever seen in your life.
Okay.
One's a school teacher in Las Vegas,
Okay.
and she taught, what do you call those kids?
Special needs?
Kids with, special needs children
Mhm.
Okay.
for quite a while. Now she's just teaching elementary school kids
Okay.
in Las Vegas. And my other daughter, she was in the Air Force for 6.5 years.
Wow.
And my other daughter just returned from Guam. Her husband was in the Air Force. He retired, and they built a big home down in San Antonio, Texas,
Okay.
up in the hills.
Well, right. Did they go to their school, all their schooling here then?
Yes, both of them went. So
What was it like raising a family in Craig?
it was wonderful. It was wonderful. They were teenage girls,
Mm-hmm.
which, you'd stay up late at night worrying about what was going on, but it was really, really a positive thing, I think.
Mhm.
Okay.
Very positive. They were both very active in their school activities, and my God, I'm glad they graduated. To get some rest.
They've both become very successful, it seems.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my daughter down in Texas, she works for some school district down there
Oh, okay.
in Texas.
So they both work for school districts now?
Both
for
of them
school.
work for school
Oh,
districts.
That's awesome. Do you have any other closing remarks or stories you'd like recorded or anything?
Yeah.
No, I just think that I would like to ask people to go to meetings, to get involved. Don't be embarrassed to speak up. They won't shoot you for talking.
Okay.
It's our community involvement is based on the people. It's the people's voice,
Right.
and I don't think we get enough of it from our community members, nor national, city, state, or anything else. I have very good feelings for our city and our community, and I just wish that more people would get involved in local activities.
Okay. Thank you.
Back. That'd be $2,000.